Hi guys, I want to start doing a series of videos where I talk about games that I've played recently, starting with these 4 games: Skyrim, Super Mario Land 3D, Circus Atari and Centipede. I think we'll start with the Super Mario 3D Land. Reason I'm reviewing this at the moment, I'm currently playing it through Mario Brothers 2, the new one. Only recently got a 3DS a couple of months ago, eventually gave in, got the funds available to buy a few games with it as well. This is one of them. This is definitely still the best game that I've played on the 3DS. Utilises the graphics brilliantly. I think the 3D graphics definitely give another element to Super Mario that we haven't seen before. Probably, well, after Super Mario Galaxy, it'd be hard for Nintendo to reinvent platforming games, and well, they brought this out and in my opinion they've done it again. In a way it reminds me of Super Mario Land 64 in the way that sometimes, I know it's a platformer, and that is what type of game it is, but sometimes you forget that and you think that it's like a sort of a free roam game. Some of the levels are that big, and all the hidden paths you can take and the hidden areas. It really is a great game. A bigger game than I thought. I completed it, the Mario Part, and completed it as Luigi. Really good game. The story itself, just an average, standard Mario story. Gameplay, again, it's probably aided a lot by the 3D graphics, in the way that you can not only walk across the screen, you can walk into the screen, back out the screen. It is really good. No sort of surprises really with it. Sort of expected what I got really. Sort of a 10 out of 10 Mario game as usual. They rarely fail with Mario games. I don't get why people sort of so against Nintendo and Mario and say Nintendo regurgitate Mario games. I just don't understand that whatsoever. Each Mario game is different in its own right. They've hardly ever done a sequel. Probably the only sequel they've ever done is the new Super Mario Bros. 2. So I think they're entitled to one sequel. I've heard a few people, including Fingamer, points out that there's been so many Call of Duties just in this generation alone, that they've just regurgitated the same game and called it something different. I'm so bored of games like Call of Duty, and all the game magazines just give them 10 out of 10 and sort of knock Mario, but really great game. This is sort of the main reason to get a 3DS at the moment. I haven't played the Ocarina of Time yet. I'm sure I will get it eventually. But yeah, this is definitely my favourite game on the 3DS. I think we'll talk about Circus Atari for the Atari 2600. Just a short little review video. I was going for some high scores on this recently. It's I think it was the first game that Atari introduced that uses the paddle controllers. Or basically, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure there's plenty of videos on YouTube that can show you what it is. Basically, you're lying at the bottom of the screen and you're helping 2 guys keep up on a seesaw. It's not that you wouldn't think it was the most fun game, but it's so addictive. Really fun game to play. Some of the high scores on the internet are crazy, and I wasn't even getting close to them. If you've got an Atari 2600, definitely must have. And should be a cornerstone of any Atari collection. Just another quick word on Centipede again. I was going for some high scores. Didn't manage to get in again anywhere near the ones on the internet, but for those not familiar with Centipede, it's a game similar to Space Invaders, with another twist of basically a centipede running down the screen, and you have to kill that before it gets to the bottom. It's a really good take on the game. I'm not sure, I think it was after Space Invaders, but definitely my favourite Space Invaders variant. There's loads on the Atari 2600. You can see sort of 8 or 9 in my collection as it is, but I'm sure there's many more. But definitely, apart from the original, this is definitely my favourite sort of Space Invaders game. And again, a must-have for any Atari collection. I think it was actually a launch game on the Atari. It came with some early Atari consoles. Not sure about that, but I think that's the case. Anyway, I think every Atari console I've bought ever has come with Centipede, so that's just me assuming that anyway. So from something back in 1982 to possibly the new cornerstone of the gaming industry. Skyrim for the Xbox 360. What can I say about this game that hasn't already been said? It's an epic adventure beyond belief, really. It's from the customization of your character, straight away you know this game is going to be huge. Even playing through the game, I don't think you really appreciate how big the game is. If you haven't played Skyrim, basically you can choose what sort of species you are in Skyrim. I went for Nord. Basically, the dragons are invading and you need to kill the dragons. That's the main quest anyway. But there's so many sub-quests. It's sort of a Zelda-like game in the fact that there's so many underlying storylines. People get married on it. You can buy a house. You can basically live sort of like The Sims, but with dragons. That's the best way of explaining really how big the game is. The main quest was quite short. But then I think there's 4 or 5 main quests. Managed to complete them all. I haven't completed the game 100%. I'm not sure if anyone who has, but the game is that big. One criticism I would have was probably during the main quest. Again, the main quest is quite short. It's one criticism, and the second would maybe when you kill your first dragon, and it's an epic battle with your first dragon, and then you come back the day after, and it's respawned. Kind of takes away the whole killing of the dragon part, but it explains to you why that happens. So no major complaints really. Definitely the best game I've played on this generation. It's probably too early to say because I haven't really stood the test of time yet, but it's up there with Ocarina of Time in the fact that it's such a big game. It's so many things to do, so many side quests, so many sublines in the game. I can't explain how much of an epic adventure this is. The fighting on it is really good. The ways you can take, I was a brawler. I'd run in with one hand with fire in my hand and the sword in my right hand, but one of my friends was really stealth and would be an archer and just camp on the corners and pick people off. There's so many different ways you can play the game. If you haven't played Skyrim, either where have you been for the past year, it really is a great game. If you've played Oblivion, it's definitely a lot. Oblivion's a okay game. There's a fair crack of the whip, but Skyrim is a cut above anything I've played in years really. Nothing has come close, and probably nothing will on this current generation anyway. So yes, thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll be next gaming video very soon. Currently playing through Super Mario Bros. 2, the Twilight Princess, and I'll probably include another, maybe a PlayStation 2 title. Any requests you want me to play, just send them along. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.